Hi everybody, today we are going to look at the canonical ensemble formalism which is applied for classical ideal gas. So in the few classes, the coming classes, we will be using canonical ensemble formalism, the formulas that we have seen in canonical ensemble formalism to few simple systems. Okay, the first one in the line is the classical ideal gas. Okay, so the classical ideal gas, we have seen this in the microcanonical ensemble. We have a system of n identical particles. They are monoatomic and they are confined to a volume V and the temperature is T. Okay, so it is important to see that the parameters now we are using is number of particles n, volume V, temperature T. In the microcanonical ensemble, we were specifying the energy, the volume and number of particles. So canonical ensemble formalism, it is different in this sense. Here energy can vary, the temperature is fixed. There is no intermolecular force of attraction between the molecules. Okay, there is no intermolecular force of attraction. So the energy of the system is wholly kinetic. It's completely kinetic. There is no potential energy due to the interaction between the molecule. So I can simply write the Hamiltonian as sum of individual kinetic energies of the particles. There are capital N number of particles in the system. So the Hamiltonian, that is actually the energy, the total energy of the system, that is simply the sum of the kinetic energies of the individual particles. So Pi square by 2m, summation over all particles. Then the most important quantity here, it is the partition function. In microcanonical ensemble, the first thing that we evaluate is the number of microstates. Here the first thing that we evaluate is the partition function, that is 1 by n factorial h raised to 3n integral exponential minus beta, the Hamiltonian. There are integrations with respect to 6 variables, 3n position coordinates and 3n momentum coordinates. So this is the partition function, the classical partition function. Now what we do is for h, I am giving this sigma equal to 1 to n Pi square by 2m, that is substituted here. So I have this 1 by n factorial, this e to the power minus beta sigma equal to 1 to n Pi square by 2m d3n p d3n q, this is actually q. Okay, d3n q, d3n p, position and momentum coordinates. The integration with respect to q, this is actually q, the space coordinates, this is actually q, the integration over the space coordinates, that is actually v to the power n. Okay, because integral d3n, sorry, d cube q, that will give you v. So d cube d3n q, that will be equal to v to the power n. So integration over the space coordinates will be giving you v to the power n. Then integration over the momentum coordinates. This is actually a sum, since this is exponential function and here we have the sum, we can write it as product. Okay, e to the power minus beta p1 square by 2m into e to the power minus beta p2 square by 2m p3 square by 2m, like this. As we take the product, the power will add together to give this. Okay, so we have such n number of terms. So n number of such exponential terms are there. Here I have n d cube p, that is d3n p, n d cube p. So this is actually a simple product. This is actually this integration over 3n coordinates. That is actually the integration of this quantity e to the power integral e to the power minus beta p square by 2m d cube p to the power n, because all these terms are actually identical. Okay, p1 square by 2m d cube p1 e to the power minus beta p square by 2m d cube p2. So they are actually identical. So you simply integrate over the momentum coordinate and then take its product. Okay, so that we are going to do here. So integral e to the power minus beta p square by 2m d cube p. Okay, so how do we do this integration? We find this small d cube p volume in the momentum space px, py, pz, and we consider a shell. Okay, this is a shell of radius p, inner radius p, thickness dp. So this volume will be 4 pi p square into dp. 4 pi p square is the surface area, dp is the thickness. So d cube p, small volume in the momentum space, that is given by 4 pi p square dp, and the momentum will change from 0 to infinity to get the entire free space. Okay, so we have integral 0 to infinity e to the power minus beta p square by 2m 4 pi p square dp, and this integral 0 to infinity e to the power minus beta p square by 2m p square dp, that is integrated using this standard result, which is 0 to infinity e to the power minus alpha y square dy is 1 by 4 pi by alpha cube. Okay, alpha is that coefficient coming with the y square, pi by alpha cube all to the power half. So I am using this. So this is 4 pi into 1 by 4. This is pi. Okay, pi is alpha. Here it is beta by 2m, that is beta by 2m here is written. Beta, you know, that is 1 by kt. Beta is 1 by kt, so that will be simply 1 by 2m kt to the power cube. Okay, to the power 3. That will be essentially this 4 will get cancelled, this 4 will get cancelled, pi is there, pi to the power half is there, they will combine to give pi to the power 3 by 2. Anyway, you will get a simple result, 2 pi mkt to the power 3 by 2. This is actually this integration over the momentum coordinate. This is actually for one particle. This is for one particle. We have such n identical integrals here. So we have to take the power n. So what you will get, the partition function will be, now these terms are there, 1 by n factorial h raised to the n v to the power n, the integration from the space coordinates, and this is the integration from the momentum coordinate 2 pi mkt to the power 3n by 2. And we make few rearrangements here. V is brought inside here, the square bracket. It is written in this form. Anyway, this is the final expression for q and vt. And this can be written as q1 to the power n by n factorial. This is an interesting result, where q1 is the partition function for a single particle. This is the partition function for a single particle. Suppose our system had only one particle, this will be the partition function, 1 by h cube, 1 by n factorial, n is 1, so that is 1, so 1 by h cube. Since this is a three-dimensional one, we have h cube e to the power minus beta p square by 2m d cube q d cube p. Integration with respect to d cube q, that will give you v. The rest of the terms will be 2 pi m kt to the power half. So what we are getting here is this integral q1 to the power n. Okay, the integral that we get by integrating this, result that we get, that to the power n by over n factorial. So the idea is, the basic constituents of our system are non-interacting. They are not interacting. The total energy, the total energy of system is simply sum of their individual energies. Okay, if they are not at all interacting, there is no potential energy. So the total energy of the system will be sum of the individual energies. In that case, the partition function Q1 Vt, that will be equal to Q1 Vt to the power n over n factorial. So anyway, this we will be using at several places. This result Q1 Vt is Q1 Vt to the power n over n factorial. Okay, where this Q1 is the single particle partition function. Now once the partition function is with us, it is quite easy for us to calculate the Helmholtz free energy. Helmholtz free energy is minus kT log Q1 Vt. So I am taking log Q1 Vt here. Okay, 1 by n factorial. I have to take the log of this. This is written in this form. Okay, I am applying Stirling's formula. Log n factorial is n log n minus n. So when this minus combines with that minus, we will have positive. This will be kT log. When I take this minus sign to this log, I can invert this. So this will be h cube over v 2 pi m k to the power 3 by 2 m and kt. Okay, this negative sign, when it combines with this positive, this will be minus nkt. So anyway, nkt log n by v square by 2 pi m k to the power 3 by minus nkt. Anyway, A is Helmholtz free energy is this. So this is the Helmholtz free energy. Once Helmholtz free energy is calculated, we can calculate other quantities. Mu is dou A by dou n when volume and temperature are constant. So dou A by dou n. So what do? You differentiate this with respect to n. Okay. I differentiate this with respect to n. Since this is log, this will go in the denominator. This will be 0 because this is a constant and temperature is constant. So I differentiate this with the volume. Okay, sorry, the number of particles. So I will get this result. So this is the equation for the chemical potential. Then for determining the pressure, what I am trying to do is I am differentiating this with respect to volume, partially with respect to volume, keeping n and t constants. So I will be getting this result nkt by v. From this I can write the equation of state PV equal to nkt. Then we are determining the entropy. Entropy is minus dou A by dou T. That means we have to partially differentiate this with respect to temperature. So actually the temperature is present here also. So you will have to take the product rule. Okay, temperature is present 2 positions. So you have to apply the product rule. So by applying that, you will finally reach to this relation nk log v by n 2 pi m kt to the power 3 by 2 plus 5 by 2. Okay, so this is the entropy. The energy is actually A plus Ts. S is with us, A is with us. We derived all properties from A, so that is with us. So A plus Ts will give you the total energy, and you can see that is equal to 3 by 2 nkt. CV is simply dou U by dou T, that will be 3 by 2 nk. Cp is dou H by dou T when the pressure and volume are constant. The pressure is constant, not volume. Pressure is constant, dou H by dou T. So this is actually the enthalpy, which is U plus PV. U is 3 by 2 nkt, PV is nkt, so I will get 5 by 2 nkt. Okay, so dou by dou T of this, so this will be 5 by 2 nk. So here volume is not constant, only pressure is constant. So that is the Cp, the specific heat capacity at a constant pressure. So we have determined all the thermodynamic properties. The U can be also determined directly from the partition function. Instead of using the Helmholtz free energy, we can directly calculate it from the partition function. That is minus dou by dou beta of log Q1 Vt. Okay, log Q1 Vt actually Helmholtz free energy is minus kT log Q and Vt. So from this, here we have actually for obtaining expression for Helmholtz free energy, we have done the log Q and Vt. Log Q and Vt actually comes out to be this. This is log Q and Vt. Okay, so remember that 1 by kT is beta. So as we partially differentiate this with respect to beta, I will get this relation 3 by 2 nkt. So U equal to 3 by 2 nkt. So all these results are standard results for a classical ideal gas. We have done this, we have derived all these properties using micro-canonical ensemble formalism, and we are getting the identical results, the same results in the canonical ensemble formalism as well.